Pathmark is the intelligent tool for website lead generation. With increasing online competition, over 98% ability to successfully show your value proposition and support visitors in their buying journey separates you from the competition online. Pathmark qualifies and converts leads on your website by figuring out where they are in the buying journey and influencing them in key decision moments with relevant micro experiences like case studies, intro videos, and much more. Stay relevant to your visitors and increase conversions by 50%. Add a Pathmark to your website in seconds, let the AI do all the work, and get extra 50% more qualified leads while you keep doing marketing and sales as usual. Check us out at pathmark.com. Welcome to today's episode. Let's talk about today's guest. We have Paige from Prefixbox, Chief Growth Officer with them. How are you doing today, Paige?
I'm good. How are you? It's nice to be here.
I'm good. It's great to have you on. I'm doing good. Thank you so much for asking. And I'm sure listeners are tuning in, wondering what Prefixbox is all about. So let's kick it off with that. Paige, in your own words, can you tell us a little bit more?
Yes, sure. So Prefixbox is a AI search and product discovery solution for retailers. I know that not all of your listeners are in the e-commerce space. So what does that mean for other people? You know, whenever you go to buy something online and you see that white search bar at the top of the online store and you focus in and maybe you type an N and it shows Nike shoes for men, Nike shirts for men. We do the technology that powers that. And then when you click enter, why is this product first? Why is this one second? Why is that third? We also power that. So it's based on search relevance, obviously, and aggregated user behavior. And on the flip side, we enable retailers to promote the products that they want to sell. So for example, if they have a higher margin on product X and they want to show that first, then they can do that with our solution.
Oh, interesting. That's really good. Right. Even if they want to promote one, they can do so. But ultimately, there's also it's hybrid search, right?
Yeah, exactly. So there was a lot of advancements in the search industry last year. That was the big buzz, and that basically paved the way for this AI search. And so that's what we've brought to the market. And we also have it in our product recommendations because retailers now are looking for a holistic solution that solves search and discovery. So product recommendations. And for the end user, you would know this as like other people also bought complete your look. You might also like those recommendations when you're looking at one specific product. We do that as well. And we have a detailed analytics portal. So the retailers can see everything throughout the buying journey, what their shoppers are looking for, what they're clicking on, what they're interested in, and they can optimize based on this data that they find.
Okay, awesome, great. And so that way our listeners could get a good understanding of your company. Paige, what would you say is a problem or a key problem that you saw?
Mm-hmm. So we help retailers increase their conversion rate and online revenue. These are a couple of their top line KPIs, what they're really looking to do. And since we offer this whole suite or whole range of products, all of these are geared to increasing the conversion rate and revenue. And these people are really, really busy and search is complicated. So their teams can spend hours a week on doing these optimizations. And the way that we offer our products at Prefixbox is in a fully managed service. So our team of search experts handles all of that optimization for them. And we do a lot of A/B testing. So whether it's what UX layout is working best, testing new features, new products, new search relevance settings, we do all of that and report on it to them so they can see everything like in a concrete analytics portal, that this is the impact on your conversion rate, the impact on your revenue. And of course, all of it, you can't really quantify, like how is it impacting and improving the user journey.
Okay, awesome. So then would it be fair to assume that you mainly focus on e-commerce clients, or is there another vertical segment that you guys like to go for?
Yeah, we focus just e-commerce search, so we don't do anything about content search. You're exactly right. It doesn't matter what products the retailers sell, whether it's fashion or health and beauty or consumer electronics, DIY. So whatever they sell is good to go. But we focus more on the enterprise, the mid-market and the enterprise, because our solution is data-driven and it learns from their user behavior. The more data that their customers generate and the shoppers generate on their site, the better our solution can work. So we don't focus really on what do they sell, but how big are they?
Okay. And well, I mean, how would someone in e-commerce typically find out about Prefixbox? Is there a top client acquisition channel for you guys, Pete?
Yeah, I think it's changing now. So in the past, most of what we did was a lot of sales focus and it was outbound, with emails, LinkedIn, calling, going to events. That was a huge thing, giving presentations and kind of positioning as a thought and market leader and actually becoming part of the local community, because it's still face-to-face is really important, and like building these personal relationships. But I think now what's happening, at least in the tech sector, is that people want to do more of a self-led buying journey. So they want to discover products on their own, learn about a solution provider on their own, what products are included, how much does it cost, how does it compare to other people in the market, and they want to do that without necessarily talking to a salesperson and see exactly how the product works. So that's a shift in the way that you would approach this. And this is the way that we're working towards now, where case studies are super important. Letting the customer speak for themselves, whether it's in a video or video interview, these third-party reviews on a tech aggregator site where you can let your customers speak on their own about your solution. I think that's much more powerful. And people tend to resonate more with that, because you can really say anything you want about yourself. But when other people say it about you, it's more powerful. And I think this is the way that the market's going, where people want to see these unbiased opinions. Actually, how does the technology work? I want to try it. I want to discover it on my own. So I think we're going to see a shift soon. We're in the middle of the shift, and these acquisition channels will change. But they should work together, because, we're not going to completely leave the old world, but how can we merge or find a middle ground between the two?
Yeah, I would agree. And so that way our listeners that are listening in can check you guys out. They can check you out at prefixbox.com. What role would you say the website plays for the client acquisition page?
I think that the website is super, super important. It's basically like your online brochure, online business card. Especially if you think about the self-guided role, the website is the go-to point in someone's buying journey. That's where they're going to go to learn about you and what are you offering, and get all of this information that they have in their mind that they want to collect, basically. So you need to have it all there in a clear and easy to understand way where they can digest it, get what you're saying, and go forward. And in 2022, we spent, that was our big project of 2022, basically, was rebranding and working through the website and what is the flow, because we knew that this was going to be the focal point, whether it's inbound as your channel or outbound. The website is always in the sales process. That is an unavoidable fact. So we had a goal that we wanted to really deeply document in an easy to understand way what exactly our solution can do, and also focus on our branding and our messaging and who are we targeting to make sure that it would resonate with them. So we looked at it all in this holistic way. And I think we did a good job of that, because I was at a conference last May, and I was in a line for coffee, and there was a girl behind me, and she was a UX and brand design specialist. And she said, show me your website and I will give you some tips on how to improve it, because I think I told her we just did this big project. And so she looked at it, I don't know, a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and she came back and she's like, okay, so this I would say is your persona. This is your messaging. This is your brand personality. This is what you're trying to accomplish. And it was almost verbatim what we had discussed we wanted to do when we kicked off this website project. So I was like, okay, that's a pretty good sign that people, and she had nothing to do with e-commerce, and she could understand what we were trying to talk about. So I was like, that's a really good validation point of what we're doing. And that, okay, there's a long way to say, basically, the website is going to be in the sales process, and it needs to educate your prospects, and they need to be able to find what they're looking for.
I really would agree with you on that. So that on that, is there any tips or methods, tools that you would recommend to our listeners as far as the website lead generation?
Yeah, so I think kind of what I was touching on there, to think about, it's a lot of work. So it's a piece of advice, but then is it how implementable is it to think about it all at once? Because it's really all interconnected. So to think about your messaging, your documentation, your personas, how it's going to relate and complement your sales and marketing, and to sit down and figure it out at one time so that you have it clear in your mind what role this is playing and what it should be doing. Because if you start it and then 3 months later you do something else, and 6 months later you do something else again, it's not as consistent, and the thought process has changed. And especially if you just start adding pages here and there and changing messages here and there, it's going to grow and become totally unmanageable. And to rein it back in, I don't know if it's possible. So to think about that in your CTAs throughout, what should the website do? Who are we talking to? What do we want them to do? How are we going to guide them through it? Where do we want them to convert? And then obviously to monitor it. And monitor also the market. What are your competition? What are your competitors saying? What are they doing? How are you positioned in relation to them? Are you communicating the right things? And then also obviously monitor the website. How is it performing? And then in terms of tools, it's not groundbreaking news, but Hotjar and Google Analytics are ubiquitous for a reason because they show you what are people doing on your website. What should you be experimenting on? Basically, what's working, what's not working, and how can you adjust maybe how your page is structured, where your content is, where your CTAs are, and then just keep experimenting to make sure that you're getting the most out of it that you can.
Definitely. All right. Awesome to hear that from you. Well, Paige, let's switch gears a little bit and let's talk about you as a leader. You being the Chief Growth Officer there for Prefixbox. What are some key tasks you focus on your day-to-day work?
Yeah, every day is different. It's very varied. So I started as the first marketer and I built the marketing department, and then I built the sales development representative department while also leading the marketing. So now I lead those two teams and I'm building out our partnership team. So my day is basically spent between marketing, sales, and partnerships. But it sounds like a lot, but it's all really related because it's about making sure that our messaging and our offering and our packaging is resonating with the market. Are we pushing the right messages on the right channels? Is it resonating with our ideal customers and our personas? And how can we iterate on it to drive more leads? So that's the general stuff. But the day-to-day is mostly planning and scoping and reviewing the projects that are in progress, and then thinking of things that we could be experimenting with in order to increase leads and grow the company.
Yeah, all right. Awesome to hear that from you. Well, let's jump into our next section here, Paige, which is a rapid fire question round. So you ready for that?
Yes, let's see.
All right. First off, Paige, what is the last book that you read?
Lessons in Chemistry. It was really good.
Great to read there for our listeners. Next is, what is one single thing that your company is focused on at the moment the most?
It is about the packaging and the positioning of the solution, because we just launched this AI search last year. So how can we basically weave that technology into everything that we offer, and how can we structure the offering so that it's favorable to retailers? Because now, in this new economic climate, everyone's focused on saving time and efficiency. So how can we get this message that this latest technology is not just cool because it's new and it's AI and that's the trendy thing to talk about, but actually translate it into real world benefits that people can understand?
All right, awesome. Next is, if there would be no boundaries in technology, what would be that one thing that you want to have fixed for your role as a marketer today?
I think it would be something like an analytics dashboard that has all data from all channels, including outbound and events. So you could see like a full overview funnel of where leads are coming from, what happened, and how many touch points did you have on each account, but all in one place, aggregated. So whether it came from paid media, from an SDR email, from a conference, from anything, from the website, just an organic search, and how many times did you touch this account, and what actually did this look like? Not separated by account. I'm imagining this as some type of funnel. So I don't know how it would work, but to see everything absolutely with no attribution problems, because I think that's the big challenge, isn't it? Like, was it sales? Was it marketing? Well, it started here, but then this converted it. So to show everything and not have any of those conversations anymore.
Definitely. I think that would be great. So hopefully something like that exists already. Now, next, if there was one repetitive task that you could automate, what would that be?
Paperwork, because I'm an expat and I feel like every year I'm applying for visas and it is not fun paperwork. So if I didn't have to think about any of that, I would be really happy.
All right. And well, lastly, Paige, you do have a lot of experience, but what is one piece of advice that you would give yourself, say, if you were coming out of UT?
Okay, back in the day, well, I would have said like, move to Europe earlier because you're working in the US. But yeah, like to go abroad, just get out of your comfort zone. And like, if you think really that you can't do something, you can. It's just like a mental limitation. So really, whatever you think, just go and do that and live your best life that you can do.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Paige, for that. And we're coming to the end of the show here, but before we end the show, Paige, I do want to give you the last word. If someone forgets everything about the interview today, what is that one thing they should remember about Prefixbox?
AI, product search and discovery increases conversion rate and online revenue for retailers.
There you guys heard it. Check them out at prefixbox.com. To our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm looking forward to our next episode at Pat Monk Presents. Thanks a lot, Paige.
Thank you.